This conference will now
And
be
I am
recorded.
into various kind of trainings in SAP that includes corporate trainings, group trainings, and one-to-one trainings. And currently, I have been working for a multinational company. It's a US based EV manufacturing company, and today it is the day one training of SAP Security, where we are going to discuss all about the SAP content. Like what exactly is the content we are having in the SAP Security? What is the duration you are having? Everything will be discussed one by one in this way. So let's start the session. So before going for our introduction part, everyone, so I will. So
This
without
conference
any
will
delay,
now be recorded.
let's start our session. So this is day one training of our SAP Security and GRC, where we will be discussing all about the content. So what exactly is the step by step content we are having, and what is the duration we are going to do as part of this training, and what all the things you will be receiving from this session will be explained for you in detail right now. So firstly, there are some people who are having, or maybe you have done your own research on SAP Security. So what does a security consultant does in any project? Any one of you? A just simple one liner. What does a SAP Security Consultant performs in a project?
Assigning the roles,
They,
creating user access.
Okay.
okay, they will work on access and authorizations for the users.
User access authorizations.
Like
Yes, good.
security vulnerability, like if there is any issues coming across, then we need to act on that.
Okay. Any security consultant, you will act on that. Okay. Any other answers?
Yeah,
Right.
password reset, lock, unlock account.
Yes. So what all the things you said, they come under something called as the user administration. So if someone asking you what is a SAP security consultant, or what are the responsibility of a security consultant, you take care of each and every SAP consultant in your project. So no matter how many SAP users you are having, you are going to perform user administration task for each and every SAP user in the project in this way. That's the whole concept about the user administration. So I want to start my career as a security consultant. From where should I start here? Firstly, we will be going with ECC or S4 HANA security. So pretty much new terminologies you are seeing here. ECC or S4 HANA security. What does ECC stands for? ERP core component. So can someone give me a quick overview? What is the purpose of ERP, or what is meant by SAP ERP? Or anything. So in your previous projects, you have heard the term called ERP. So what is meant by ERP? Any one of you? Purpose. Yes, Mehar?
Enterprise resource.
ERP is like it would be like or it's a software, like it would be automate and manage, like that.
Automation and management.
ERP is basically a bundled package which covers major departments, like the tasks done by various departments in an organization. All those can be clubbed together, and it
Okay.
makes the working more easier.
Yes, exactly. Right. So yes, any other answers?
I would
Okay.
actually say that ERP is enterprise resource planning. It means
Okay.
an enterprise has a lot of different type of resources. So how it is planned,
Okay.
like how it is used in a planned manner, that could be in
Okay.
managing the resources of the enterprise.
Okay, managing the resources of enterprises. So, like what all you guys said, it is correct. So, ERP is a tool which is useful for managing any business. So, previously, you may be working for any kind of project. It may be some manufacturing company, pharma company, or it may be something like a banking project or IT project. Anywhere you go, there is one common tool you are seeing, ERP. So what is the purpose of ERP? ERP is meant for maintenance of the business data. So as part of ECC and S4 HANA security, we are going to provide user administration for ERP users. So who are those ERP users? Nothing but all your business users. So in your project, you are having various departments like sales department, HR department. Okay, in this way, for each and every department, you are the one who take care of user administration part. So here you are seeing something called as ECC or S4 HANA security. Why there are two different terminologies here? Why? Because ECC is a older version, whereas S4 HANA is the newer version for the ECC system. So in the upcoming years, there won't be any ECC system in the SAP projects. Only S4 HANA system will be there. So in the upcoming concepts, we will be in detail discussing about what is the difference between ECC and S4 HANA systems. As of now, ECC is meant for maintenance of your business data, whereas S4 HANA is the next gen product of the ECC system, or the new version of the ECC system, which is also having the same purpose of maintenance of the business data. So as part of this ECC security, what are we going to perform? Here we are going to perform something called as user maintenance activity, that is create SAP user IDs, change, delete, lock, unlock, reset, copy, all the user related activities we are going to perform here. Followed by we are going to provide something called as roles and profiles. So what is roles and profile concept? Which is useful for providing access for the SAP users. So roles and profiles are useful for providing access for a SAP user in the project. So here we are detailedly discussing about how to activate the roles, what are the different types of roles we are having, how to customize the role as per user requirement, how to assign a role to the user. The same concept even for the profile. Role and profiles are two interconnected concepts, one with each other. We will be discussing all those things in detail. Followed by authorization, the heart of SAP. So what is meant by authorizations? Authorization is nothing but security inside the system. To what level of access a user required inside the SAP system is decided by the authorizations in this way. For suppose I am a SAP user. So for suppose I am a SAP consultant. I got access into the SAP system. To which level of access I required, it is going to be restricted by the authorization concept. Or in very much simple terminology, I can say this way. Yesterday I went to some movie, and when I go to the movie theater, in front of some like surveil rooms, like CCTV rooms, server rooms, they put a board that only authorized people are allowed, meaning you should have some special permissions to enter the premises. In the same way, even in the SAP
Sorry,
system
Krishna.
also.
Krishna, sorry for the cut short. Actually, your voice is breaking. Might be this is from my issue. Like everyone is facing the same issue. Just want to confirm.
So just a second, even some people, I will just try to, right, not an issue. So just allow me a second. I will just switch my network.
Great.
Right. So I have changed my network. I hopefully now it will be clear for you without any issue. So am I audible for you?
Yes, Krishna, it was clear.
Right. If any issues, just let me know. So authorization is nothing but what level of access a user required inside the system will be restricted by the authorization concept here in this way. So that's the basic activity we perform here. See, here I am not going to bring out all the content for you. With today's recording, you will be also getting a documentation where we will have all the topics that we will cover. Here, I am only mentioning the core concepts or the important concepts which we are having in the SAP security, user maintenance, and to provide access roles and profiles to restrict the access authorization concept here in this way. And coming to the concept of who can learn this one, what are the prerequisites here? So this fundamental security, so I will call this ECC security as a fundamental security, ECC or S4 HANA security. No coding knowledge will be required, so anyone with zero technical knowledge can learn this one. So no OS administration knowledge required. So no database knowledge required. So no queries, how to execute a query not required. So with zero technical knowledge, anyone with minimum graduation can learn this course in this way. As part of this ECC or S4 HANA security, I will start with a very much fundamental called what is meant by SAP, what are SAP products, what are SAP databases, what are SAP modules, what are SAP versions in this way. Then we slowly move into access. How to provide access to the user? What are roles? How to customize them? What is default authorization data? How to customize them? What are profile parameters? Security policies, SAP audits. We are having lot of concepts here which we will be discussing here one by one. And coming to the duration, it will be taking around 6 weeks of duration. So 6 weeks of duration will be taken here from Monday to Friday. Daily 1 hour of training will be conducted for you. And people who are having work experience, I have seen some of you have already like two or three people who are having work experience in security. You can directly skip this course for you. And after the security, the next one we will be having here is the GRC access control. So which version we are going to discuss? As of now, current available version is 12.0, but the point to be noted here is in the third quarter of 2026, we are having a new version that is about to launch in the third quarter of 2026. Does it mean that whatever I learn in GRC 12.0 it is totally waste? Not at all. So in GRC 2026 version, we have some new features available. So as of now, the software is not at release. technically it will be available for implementation from 2027. As of now, I can show you what are the new features, and SAP has already given some screenshots like this is the new feature we are about to launch. So this is the screenshot. This is the AI tool we are going to integrate. By using this AI tool, this is a feature we want to introduce. So we have that proper information will be explained for you, but we do have a new version that is about to launch in the next year, and by 2030 you will be seeing the new version implemented by most of the projects in this way. So in GRC, what are we going to learn? It's going to be access control. So it's a self-explanatory word. We are going to control something related to access. So what all the concepts you are having here? So primarily four important concepts or four core concepts you are having here. First one is the ARA, stands for Access Risk Analysis, where we are going to discuss about how to perform risk analysis for users, roles, profiles, whichever we created. So as part of our fundamental training, whatever users, roles and profiles we created, the entire concept for the entire data, we will be performing risk analysis here in this way. And the second concept you are having is BRM, stands for business role management. So where we are going to deal with something called as role maintenance activity. So many people having this question: is the role maintenance activity which we have done in fundamental security and the BRM roles, are the both concepts same? Means yes, they are 100% same, but we are going to have many advanced features that are practically not possible in the ECC or the S4 HANA system. So the BRM role concept may be same from the ECC and S4 HANA system, but the features are going to be totally different. We are having many advanced features in the GRC BRM concept in this way. And the third concept you are having here is ARM, where we are going to perform Access Request Management is the full form, where we are going to perform user maintenance activity. Again, the same concept. We are going to do the same user maintenance activity like create, change, display, delete, lock, unlock of SAP user IDs. But here we are going to have more advanced features when compared to the ECC and the S4 HANA system. Same SAP user IDs, but with very advanced features you are having here. And the fourth concept you are having is EAM, stands for Emergency Access Management. So a part of regular SAP access, you are having something called as EAM, that is emergency access concept. So we are going to discuss here about what is meant by emergency access, for whom we need to provide this emergency access. We will be discussing here one by one in this way. So that's the whole concept of the emergency access we are having here in this way. Okay. So a part of these four concepts, one of the very important concept and the main reason why GRC is so successful in the market currently, that is going to be MSMP workflow. So what is meant by MSMP workflow? Multi-step, multi-process workflow, which we are going to have automation related activities for all our SAP GRC access control implementation. You are having the automations. So firstly, what is meant by automation? Any one of you? So what is meant by automation?
Yeah, so the manual work will be automated.
So We are having minimum inputs and the system complete the task. Yes. Any additional points you want to add?
So sometimes if we have a repetitive task,
Okay.
automation is used to
Yes.
streamline it.
Sometimes repetitive tasks system can take care of them. Yes. Right. So automation is nothing but you are giving minimum input and the system complete that task for you. You don't need to perform each and every step manually in the SAP system in this way. That's the whole concept of uh, MSMP workflow. So one of the reason why GRC access control is so successful. Why? Because you are having ARA implementation, BRM implementation, ARM implementation, EAM implementation with automation options. So for all the access control implementation, you are having the MSMP workflow controls, which we are going to discuss one by one. So many people asking this question. So currently this GRC access control having good opportunities. So can I learn the GRC access control directly? Practically speaking, it will be very challenging and I can say not possible. Why? Because you need to know what is meant by role, what are profiles, how we are providing authorizations, all the fundamental knowledge. Without having proper understanding in the fundamental security, it is not practically possible to learn the GRC access control. Either you should have work experience or practical knowledge on what is meant by users roles profile authorization. Then only you can learn the GRC access control in this way. So generally speaking, what is the duration? So it can be completed within 4 weeks. Again, the pattern is same. Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour of training will be required here in this way. So daily 1 hour of training will be required here in this way. So that's the whole concept you are having here in this way. Right. Now, coming to this adding. So once I said it's an additional concept. So if at all you want, you can learn. But now this course, I will say it's a one of the important thing or mandatory thing to learn by every security consultant. That is Fury Security. What is the Fury Security? Fury is a new tool that was introduced for the end user point of view. For the SAP end users in the project, they have introduced something called as Fury concept. So, what is the added advantage the end users will get from this Fury concept? They know they does not require a proper SAP system. They can directly get access from a mobile or a tablet or a desktop. From anywhere they can get. For this, we need to understand what are Fury applications and how to provide the access here in this way. So here again we deal with something called as Fury applications. So what is meant by Fury applications? How to provide access to a user by this Fury applications? One by one we will be discussing here in this way. Again, generally it will be completed within 14 to 15 hours, but I just want to keep it as 4 weeks only. Why? Because fundamentals it may take more than the time than we need in this way. So 1 hour duration in this way. So to complete all the above mentioned content, hardly it will be taking roughly around 3 months duration. So 3 months duration it will be taken to complete this entire content, from knowing what exactly is the SAP to the Fury security. People who are having work experience like Harish and Funny, or maybe Meher, you can directly start with the GRC if you are confident enough with the fundamental security. You can directly start with GRC access control and the batch details related to GRC access control where we are starting. that information will be provided by Anusha for you by tomorrow. Right. So that's the whole concept you are having here in this way. Now, is it the only thing we are having? If I learn this one, is my training completed here itself? In future, or we need to learn anything? So, as you are switching your career to SAP security, most of you need to know the advanced courses also. So, what are these advanced courses that are not recommended for everyone right now? So, to get a good job in SAP security, this content is more than enough. Learning ECC or S4 HANA security, GRC access control, Fury security. So, for getting a good job in the SAP security, this content will be enough. So, whatever I am mentioning you, that is for your future growth. After 1 year or 2 years of experience, you want to upskill yourself. So what are the opportunities you are having in SAP? Let us discuss them. Firstly, you are having HANA database security. So what is HANA database security? Providing user administration task for database users. So in SAP system, you are having something called as database, SAP's own database. So HANA database is a SAP own database. It is expected that by upcoming 2 years, every SAP project will be moving into SAP own database called HANA database. So in the HANA database, there are some database users which we are going to learn how to provide access to the database users. So the database users don't have authorization. They have something called as a privileges concept. So for whom is this recommended? The database security only for people who are having previous work experience from the database point of view, or who want to switch their, or want to learn something new to the database point of view. But practically speaking, not for everyone it is suggestible. Why? Because when compared to all the existing content, the database is completely a new concept. So if you have an opportunity or having previous work experience in the SAP basis or any database related domain, and you want to switch right now, then only it is suggestible. Or not, you can just skip this one. Next one is second advanced course here is the cloud security. So to explain the cloud security concept, so today's time won't be permitted for me. So you are having so basically cloud security is nothing but providing user administration task for the cloud users. So in the SAP cloud, so SAP is having many cloud products. So whoever users required access to those cloud products, we are going to provide the cloud security in this way. So here we have many things like identity access governance, IAG. So we are having IAS, IPS, okay, and we are having BTP. So I will be taking a dedicated session in future where I will be explaining you about each cloud concept individually, what exactly they does in each of them. We will be discussing one by one in this way. Okay, right. After that, from the GRC tool point of view, also you are having many advanced courses. So you are only learning access control here. So after access control, if you want any advanced course, the next one you are having is the process control. So this is all about the business control. So people who have worked in the IT audits, they will know this terminology called business controls. So for every project, the IT audit team is going to create something called as a business controls. Okay, so for the so whatever business controls design, these controls will be implemented by the process control consultant in the SAP system. So is it recommended for everyone? Means not at all. So people who are having work experience in the IT audits, or people who are having an interest to move to the IT audits, for those type of people only it is suggestible. Note the point that the process control consultant requirements are not those many people that are required. Out of 100 SAP security, out of 100 SAP job openings, 90 to 95 requirements will come for access control. Remaining 5 to 10% you will be getting for a process control consultant, generally recommended for people who are having work experience in IT audit or want to learn completely related to this process control. If you are having a opportunity internally, that's it, right? Next one you are having is GRC, risk management. Or so what is the risk management? It is the highest level of things we are having, which we are going to perform review activities for the access control implementation and process control implementation. What all the access and process control implementation you are done, it will be reviewed by the risk management team in this way. Generally, who does this one? The team leads, project managers, CEOs, the people who are in the manager level, people having at least 10 to 50 years of experience, those type of people are going to do this risk management or GRC RM course in this way. So again, these all advanced courses you should be only thinking once you are confident enough with this fundamental security, GRC, access control, and Fury security. Then if your time permits, you can learn any of the advanced courses right now, or you can try for a job, just get a job, settle well, and then you can focus on any of the advanced course based on the market requirement you are having. Okay, that's all about the course content you are having. I would like to add one more slide and go with Q&As. Okay, so what is the slide is all about the what else you are going to receive from this training. So if you join my training, what are the things you are going to receive? Firstly, we will provide you the server access. So all the servers which will be required for your practical part will be provided for you. While ECC training, ECC access, S4 training, S4 access, GRC training, GRC access, Fury training, Fury access. In this way, whatever the practical is going on, that relevant server will be provided for you, followed by recording videos. So after completion of the training, we provide you the recording videos in a drive, which you will be having 1 year validity period. So for 1 year, anytime you require, you can just have a quick overview, or while doing the practical part, if you have any questions, you can simply, so you can just simply check on them. So like these are the March month trainings that are undergoing currently. So see what we do here. Any training happen in this way. So day one, what is the topic? Day two, video link, what is the topic? So in this way, it will be easy for you both the things. And what all the, so whatever the PPT that is prepared will also be updated for you. So the documentation will be prepared in this session itself. We are not going to bring some standard document and keep on reading. No. For every batch, I personally prepare the documentation here itself. For suppose this is a Fury, so this is a current Fury training going on in the morning. See what happens, what are the documentations required, if required any screenshots, everything will be explained for you while preparing the PPT here itself. the same document will be sent for you also every week. So I won't send the document daily. Every Friday I have a habit of updating the document which we prepare, the PPT, and any additional PDF documents required, those will also be sent for you. And we will have something called as a case studies. So what is meant by case study? Case studies are nothing but real time scenarios. Monday to Friday the training goes on every training. So this is the last month training that was started. So as part of them I have provided them some scenarios like this, and we'll be providing some scenarios in this way which should be which most of the students will be doing their practical part. If anyone is sending back me the document, I will also review them on Monday, and we will be discussing about in detailly if required. Any questions you are having, you can. So case studies are nothing but real time scenarios for the practicals which we have done in that week, followed by the case study. We are also having something called as a resume preparation session. What is resume? We will provide you some sample resumes. So you want to upgrade your current resumes, so I will be guiding you how to update your current resumes one by one in this way, followed by followed by so followed by I will also provide you something called as a study material. So SAP provides some particular booklets for SAP fundamental training, some booklets like ADM 900, 950, 960, or for GRC 100, 300 in this way, for Fury UX 100 in this way. Some booklets will be provided for you. The same booklets will be sent for you in the form of study material in this way. That's the thing we are having here. And followed by, last but not least, at the end of the course I will be taking the overview about the advanced topics. So we will be having, so even though you are learning till Fury Security, I will be giving a detailed introduction for each and every advanced course, so that when you go to an interview or when you join a company, anyone is speaking anything related to advanced course, you will be having some clarity about it. What exactly are they going to talk? Everything we will be having here in this way, right? So right then, so that's the whole concept we are having here in this way. So right now, a part of fee, anyone having any questions related to the